All right. So we should be back. You guys should still all be there. Hopefully. Hopefully you didn't mess that up. And we're going to begin. So, this is the beginning of the tutorial session. We just completed our 225 times crisis game. So if you guys are interested in watching that or seeing the, how it ended, the VOD is available currently on Twitch. It won't be there forever. I'll probably be uploading it to YouTube. That way we have that as archived. But for the moment, let's get into the game. Okay. So we're going to be making a basic regular empire. I really don't know what it's going to be called. We'll just make it human. How about that? 325 times crisis when? Well, we have a couple of other things I need to stream first. Especially since this is Spoopy month. We need to play some spoopy games in order to do that. Let's just do intelligent, industrious, and genius. And we will choose, what is this, repugnant? No, not unruly, and no, not repugnant. That's a bad one. How about we don't do the intelligent? That'd be fine. We'll just have some traits. Not a big deal. Homeworld, we're gonna choose soul. Whoa, shit. Starting? Wait, what? This will always be the starting system when using the Shattered Rings. Oh! Oh, okay, so, alright, got it. No way. I can actually have that changed even without it? Really? Solar initializer. Okay. Alright, never mind. That doesn't work. Soul system. That's what we'll do. That's fine. Soul system. Earth. Soul. Sure. Humanoid city. Origin. Prosperous unification. That's fine. Government ethics. Dictatorship. Core-based system. And I don't really care. Let's do functional architecture. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It doesn't actually tell me that it wasn't allowed because it wasn't red except for this. Let's be militaristic because that makes sense. We'll be materialist and let's be authoritarian.
Dissent is forcefully discouraged.
That sounds pretty good. The Human Empire. Sure, that seems good. We will be gold and blue? No, gold and red. Yeah, let's be gold and red. Like a darkish red? We could just be gold. Let's just be straight up gold. I like that. Let's be gold. Legion. Human. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Humanoid ships, ruler, sure. Phenotype, really don't care. We could be whatever phenotype. Doesn't matter to me. Sure. Let's see our save. It's not like they're gonna stay in power forever. Done. Crisis strength doesn't matter to me because we're not gonna get that far. Okay, good enough for me. Maybe since we're doing tutorial-esque, I probably should not have skipped over all those settings. So a lot of those settings I had changed, and you probably shouldn't follow all those. So to be honest, I should probably go back. You know what? Hold on. I'm actually gonna go back. New game. Human. Okay. So first and foremost, we're gonna be playing on a medium-sized map. We're gonna be turning off the advanced AI. There will be none of those. We're gonna have Fallen Empire 1. We're gonna have no marauding empires. Now this is because the reason for the tutorial is that if you were to follow along, I want you to be able to have the same experience and have a relatively easy experience. This is not a meta version. I'm not going to be showing you, you know, all the meta strategies. That's not the purpose of this. This is just to show you how the game is played. That way, if you want to play the game or buy the game to then play it, then you have a rough understanding of how the game is played. All right, we're not going to be changing any of the costs or the habitable worlds. Game dates are going to be the same. Difficulty, we're actually going to be changing to the ensign. I think cadet is the lowest, but I'm going to play on ensign. You could play on cadet, which I would suggest as your first time playing on any game. If you're trying to learn a game, playing on the easiest difficulty is not necessarily a bad thing. Playing on the easiest difficulty allows you to learn the game without getting so frustrated that you want to quit before you actually get to learn how to play the game and then enjoy it. So I would suggest playing on an easier difficulty. And everything else can be the same. Yes, random empire placements. That seems good to me. Okay, so first things first, a brief explanation of the outliner. So we have the outliner, and then we have our resources, and then the menu on the far left. So anytime I refer to the outliner, I will be referring over here. Anytime I talk about the menu, that would be over here, usually. And then your resources are all up at the top. Most every single one of these, if you click on it, it will open up a menu of some sort. So if you click on your science, it opens up your science. If you click on your unity, it opens up your tradition tree. Influence opens up your edicts. Any of these resources opens up the market. Easy access to certain menus. So you might see me click on those in order to open up those menus rather than actually going through the menu list over here or using the hotkeys, because that's, in my opinion, quicker because I'm just used to it. So right here, you'll see we also have these notifications up here. These are very important. Anytime you have a notification up here, it warrants your attention, whether that is a little bit of your attention or a lot of your attention. The shinier it is and the more red it is, the more attention it's going to require of you. There are some that are really bad that if you don't deal with, it could be game ending. So anytime this occurs, don't hesitate to pause the game and then take a look at what it is. For us right now, it's just the research. So we will be dealing with that in a moment. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the outliner. Actually, you know what? Yeah, sure. We'll talk about the outliner after we go through some controls. Technically, that should probably be the first thing. So first things first, right now, you will start the game inside of your system. This game operates with the WASD for your camera controls. It's really nice. I really like the fact that it uses WASD. I don't have to worry about using my metal mouse click or the arrow keys, which you still could use if you're used to that. Inside your system, you'll have your planet and your starbase and your construction ship. Pretty much anything that's on your outliner, you'll see on the map, either in the map or the overmap, the galaxy map, or in your system map. And you can enter between the two of them either by clicking on the button down here, by M or E, or you could click on the system in order to go in. So I could either hit E to go in on whatever system I have outlined or moused over, or I don't even have to have it moused, and if it was the most recent one I went into, I could hit E again. E to go in and out. Pretty easy. First thing we're going to do is look at our planets. So under our outliner, we have planets, shipyards, military fleets, and civilian ships. As you play the game, this list will get larger. There are other things on here that you can have listed. Right now, this is all that we have shown. Again, as you play, more stuff will show up. And the more ships you have, the more this stuff will grow, and then you'll have to end up scrolling through it. So as long as you know that there are different sections under here, that's what matters. You can also minimize these sections by clicking on any of them. So as a 4X game, there are the 4Xs. You have expand, explore, exploit, and exterminate. Like any good 4X game, if it's got all of those, then it's, you know, a game that's for you, if you like those kinds of games. We're going to be learning about expansion, exploration, exploitation of resources, and exterminating our enemies, or at least we're going to try. We'll see whether or not if we exterminate them or they exterminate us. So, Earth, your planet, your homeworld, whatever it might be, if you click on it, you get to see your menu, your planetary menu. There's a lot of stuff here, a lot of things to know, but we're going to be skipping a lot of it because a lot of it is information that is not immediately necessary. There's a lot of different menus here to go through and a lot of stuff that you could do with them, but we're going to be covering the 4X's first after I explain what the menus are, because that's the basis of the game. If you can complete the 4X's, then you've got a good grasp on the basics. So we have our planets, which is our Earth. You can click on it from here. Your shipyard, where you build your ships and upgrade your stations from your menus here. You can queue up ships if you want. You have your military fleets right here, which you could click on. Also, if you clicked on something, if you double click on it, it will go to the system that it's located on the map, and if you double click on it again, it will actually go to the inside of the system where the fleet is. You have your construction ships, which is how you will expand your territory, and your science ships, which was how you explore. So, exploration first. We have to select, our science ship and tell it to explore. That's the first thing we're going to do. After that, we look at any of our notifications. Right now we have science to choose from. Now we could get from that either from our technology button here, or by just simply clicking on any of the alerts. It tells me it wants me to choose the science, so I'm not going to choose the physics research. I'm then going to choose biodiversity studies, and then I'm going to choose the engineering research. Now the reason why I do this is just because this suits my particular playstyle. If you see something here that you want more, if you really want more shields, choose the shields. If you want more research, choose the research. Now these options will not be exactly what you have. It's going to be random. You might have them, you might not. It depends. Let's see here. Again, I'm doing this live. I have no sheet to go through this, so this wasn't necessarily prepared. Let's go through, since we've actually gone through the outliner briefly, let's go through the resources. So, depending on what kind of empire you're playing as, Danger Fox, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the follow. Thank you. If you have any questions, guys, you are more than welcome to ask, and I will do my best to answer. So, up at the top, you have your resources in the game. There are other locations for resources, but these are where your major ones are and the most important ones. There is other resources in different menus, but I would not be concerned about them right now. You have your energy, your minerals, your food, your consumer goods, alloys, influence, and unity. These are major important factors in your game. You want to try to make sure that they are all in the positives. That's part of the exploitation of the game. You want to make sure that your resources are being generated and not lost. If you're losing a resource, you just got to click on one, and then you can change it. Well, you can end up buying some or selling them if you're making too many. I would try to stay away from using the market if you can help it. If you're making too much of one resource, you can sell it for energy credits and then use it for something else. Like food. I've got a lot of food here. Maybe I don't want it. I'll sell some, and now I have more energy credits, and I could use those energy credits to buy other resources like alloys. So, now that we've covered this, these are your major resource incomes. The influence is going to be the hardest one out of any of them. Influence is one of the most precious resources you'll deal with. Influence is what you use in order to do a lot of different things. One of them is expansion, and that is a very important part of the early game, is expansion. But we need to do exploration first. We cannot expand until we've explored. Right now we have our construction ship, and I would like to tell him, if I right-click on the other system, to build a starbase. He can't build it yet because we don't have it explored. Once we've explored it with a science ship, then we should be able to go on from there. But we haven't unpaused the game, so nothing has happened. See, Fission, that is true. You could do that, but that's more meta, in my opinion, and that's not something that is necessarily pertinent to learning the basics of the game. But if you did want a hint and tip, then that is something I would suggest, which is what was suggested to chat, is that you go to your ship designer and strip your ships for parts so then you can get extra resources. Again, that's more meta strategy, than it is just basic strategy. At least in my opinion it is. I've had people argue that it's not meta, but we'll get aside to that. You have your science here. You have your rare resources, your empire sprawl, your envoys, your population count, your starbase capacity, and your naval capacity. Now, a lot of these we're going to just let be. You just want to make sure that none of these are in the red, if you can help it. If it's in the red, then that means something's wrong. Science will usually never be in the red. In fact, I've never seen it in the red, but these other resources can be. Usually if your population's in the red, then that means it's game over. So, you don't want that to happen. But if any of these other ones are in the red, then that means that something is going wrong. Either you have too many people doing something, or you have too much of one thing that you're being penalized for. Either you have too many star bases, you have too much naval capacity, or you're making negative resources, or your empire sprawl's too high. We'll be getting through that. The rest of this we're going to be leaving. So there's a lot of different menus here that we could be going through, but a lot of it is not important to the base mechanics of the game. Remember, the 4X. Expand, explore, exploit, and exterminate. So, explore. We told our scientists to go out here and explore. Since I want to do more exploration, I'm going to be selecting my shipyard here, telling it to build another science ship. And now it's started. And now it's building. If you want to exploit resources, we actually have a few of them that we could do in our home system. Right now we're going to double click on our construction ship a couple times and go into our system. You'll see that there are some planets here that have no resources that are being generated. Well, there's 2 energy on this planet, Mercury, but we're not gaining the resource. It's not green like these ones are. So we're going to select our construction ship, right click on it and tell him to build a mining station. He's going to go over there, build a mining station. It's going to take some time, but once it's completed, that is 2 more energy a month that we will be gaining. If you're not okay with the game speed, you can adjust it either by clicking on the plus or the minus in the top right hand corner, or by using the plus and minus on your keyboard. You can hit the space bar to pause the game at any time, making it very easy for you to pause, make strategic decisions, and then unpause to let the game progress. Hey Stones. How you doing, man? So having red up here does not mean it's game over. It just means that you're being penalized. Unless if you have your empire population in the red, which I have actually never seen, then that's probably really bad. I don't even know what could have caused that. Okay, so we have our first anomaly, but before that, I see here that we had our second construction ship completed. Well, let's go to that. Sorry, science ship has been completed. It has currently no scientist in charge of it. Well, we're going to need to assign a leader. So we could do that a couple of ways. The primary way is to select here where it says assign leader, and then I can choose from our list. Well, all of our scientists are working right now, so I need to hire a new leader. So we're going to go up to recruit. We're going to select one of these leaders to recruit, which I'm going to take this guy because he has this meticulous, which means that he has an increased chance of discovering anomalies. We're going to recruit this guy for 200 energy. Click on him, and now he's in charge. So now we're going to hit the E key to go back out to the main menu, or the main area, and tell him to go search something else. Go over here and search the system for me. So, an anomaly had appeared. Our scientists have found an anomaly in this system, and we had gotten a pop-up earlier. We could tell them to research it now. It's going to be a routine difficulty, and it's going to take about 72 days to do it. That's not bad. But you also saw that I clicked on something and it got rid of it on my screen. Up at the top left here, you'll see that there is the anomaly right here that I could click on. It will appear here for a short duration. Once it is closed, or if you right click on it, it's gone. It's not gone forever, it's just no longer available for you to click on up here. The anomaly still exists, it's still here. You could find it a couple of ways. If you go to your situation log and under anomalies, that's where you can find any anomalies that you've found so far. You can also see it on the map. Let me turn on back down here. Let me actually hide my camera for a moment. you'll see that down here that there is a detailed map mode button. If you click on that, you will have any resource that is currently gathered or not gathered visible. Or you can hold down the Alt key in order to have it shown. You'll see here that the anomaly is now visible on the over map. I can click on that, click on research, and then the researcher will do that, or the scientist will do that. Once he's done with that, he will continue doing the commands that I gave him. Speaking of commands, if you want to give multiple commands to one of your units, you can do that. Like most strategy games, you have what are called shift commands, or Q commands. You click on the unit, you hold down the shift key, and then you tell them to do an additional task. Now it just adds it onto what they were already doing. This guy has 9. I'm going to shift command another one, and now he adds even more. Now granted, it's only showing them system by system, so the 9 that he has is just this system alone. He will then go do these other 2 tasks once he's completed, unless something stops him, like an enemy. Then it will cancel it. So, construction ship. Go over here, build on Venus. Good. Now, right now, you'll see that we have all of our resources in the positive. Eventually, that won't be the case. Something is going to fall into the red. Usually, consumer goods is the first thing to go, depending on how you're playing. So, you need to go to your planet and do something about it. All of your resources are generated from planets and stations. Hold on, let's do... So you'll eventually come up with these little pop-ups. They'll give an explanation and they'll have your choices. Read them, find out what it is you want to do. Excuse me. Let's see here, what is it we want to do? Sure. And just choose your choices accordingly. A lot of them I will be kind of skipping through because I've read them before and I've done them before, and that's not the purpose of the tutorial. But if you had a resource that is currently in the negatives, like consumer goods, there are buildings on your planet that you could either place down here under the buildings, which are considered specialist buildings, or you could build districts to increase your resources otherwise. So we have industrial districts in order to gain consumer goods and alloys. We have generator districts in order to gain ourselves energy credits. We have mining districts in order to get ourselves minerals, and agricultural districts to give ourselves food. We also have the city districts to increase our housing. However, each of these districts will already increase our housing for us by a little bit. You'll see that it says that it gives +2 housing and +2 jobs. Right now, we don't need any of these, so we're not going to build them. But something to clarify is that there are 2 different stratums, really 3. Under your population tab on your planet, you'll have rulers, specialists, and workers. Right? Under your workers, only workers can work. Under your specialists, only specialists can work. And under your rulers, only rulers can work. How you change them from one stratum to another one is not going to be explained. That's not something for you to be concerned about. They will change themselves, give it enough time. Don't need to worry about that. While they could change themselves down to a lower stratum, they cannot go up. I just wouldn't worry about that. Do we have any? We don't have any slaves. Okay, good. Good, just want to be sure. I would highly suggest for your first time playing, play as a robot. If you have access to that content, play as a Gestalt consciousness, because then you don't have to deal with a number of things. You don't have to deal with any food, you don't have to deal with any consumer goods, and you don't have to deal with any population happiness, and you can habitat or inhabitate. You can colonize any planet, which is really nice. They have 100% habitability on any planet, which is really good. Except for a specific planet, and that's something we're not going to get into. So, let's let some time pass. In fact, we're going to speed up the game a little bit, just so that time can pass. Our scientist is going to complete over here. We're going to send our construction ship to do the last mining station, which you can do from the overmap, by the way. You do not have to be in the system to tell them to do stuff. You can do stuff from the outer map, or the galaxy map. I'm going to shift command and tell him to move over here. So that way the construction ship will come over here once he's done with his current task.
Anomaly found.
So you'll see that we have found a possible colonizable planet. It says right now that the planet has not been surveyed, so we don't know its direct habitability, but we do know it is a continental world. We currently live on a continental world, so it should stand to reason that we can colonize it. All right, well, we need to survey it and we need to own the territory first. We cannot interact with it until that occurs. So, once the science ship finishes their job, then we're going to tell a construction ship to build a station, and then we will try to colonize. And I'll show you how that's done. But first, we have more pop-ups up here. So, we had an anomaly. We've already been through this, so we can right-click to dismiss that. We had another anomaly. We've been through this one. We could right-click on that one. We had a notification here telling me that a station had, or a construction had been completed. I'm going to right-click on that to dismiss that as well. We have now a tradition available. So, again, if you have a pop-up up here, you're going to want to left-click on it to see what that is. This is telling us that we have earned enough unity to choose a tradition. I'm going to click on Select Tradition, and it's going to bring up a bunch of different traditions for us to choose from. At this point, it is entirely up to you what it is you want to choose and why it is you want to choose it. There are a lot of different choices, very much like Civ, where you have an adoption effect and then a finishing effect. If you stick with one and you complete it all the way through, you get a bonus, just by choosing it and just by finishing it. For me personally, I'm going to choose Discovery because I like to have anomaly research speed increase. Not that I use that one, but it will help me in the end when I want the research speed increase for the finishing effect. So we're going to adopt, and now that is our first tradition tree. And we continue. Ancient survey marker. All right, looks like we got some bonus resources. Very nice. Contact report. Mass extinction event. All right.
Situation log updated.
First contact protocols. Again, more pop-ups. If you have the time and you'd like to spend the time to read them, you can. But for me, I've done these, and this is not the point of the tutorial. I will explain this part. This is part of the game where if you meet a new enemy race, or not enemy, sorry, I treat everybody as an enemy, another empire, then you can choose whether you are going to be aggressive, cautious, or open with them. I am personally going to greet them with open arms. That's going to increase the amount of influence I get, which is important. Remember, influence is one of the hardest resources in the game to get. Any other resource in the game can always be increased by a job. Influence cannot. Influence is gained by other means. So, influence will be the biggest bottleneck of your games. Usually. And that was a pop-up telling me that somebody had been upgraded. I think I gained a level 2 scientist.
Situation log updated.
So I just had a pop-up there. I dismissed it. Now I want to know what it was. It said situation log updated. If you go to the far left menu and go to your situation log, it will show you what your situation log is. Right now it's still selected to anomalies, so I have to click on situation log. Well, it's telling me that there was an alien log that I had found. And if I wanted to see what that was, I could either track it on the map, or I could click on the go to. It'll take me right to the system where it was, which is right here. Now, I would like him to do this. It was a mistake to tell him no, so I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to select my scientist, and I could tell him, hey, I want you to add this to your list by holding on the shift key. But let's say I had just given my guy a ton of orders. I wanted him to go here, and I wanted him to go here, and I want to go here, and I want to go here. But I don't want him to go all the way down here and then come all the way back just to do this one event. So, how do I tell him to do it first? Well, just as the shift command tells him to add commands, if you control shift and then command, he does it first. It adds it to the beginning of his list, which he'll immediately go over there and start to do. And then he'll go back to the previous list of what he was doing. Alright, so Alpha Centauri has been completely surveyed. Now, we can build in there. I'm going to select my construction ship, and I can do it one of two ways. I could either select it from the outside, from the galaxy map, and tell him to build an outpost, or, while I'm in the system, I could tell him to build it from the star. I'm just going to do it from the outside, because this is what I'm used to. Charlie. Kitty, stop it. And he will begin construction. It will take him a little bit of time.
Found.
Sure, go ahead and do the anomaly.
Special project complete.
The rubricator. We must have the rubricator,
Situation
but we're
log
going to ignore
updated.
it. It's not something we're going to be dealing with right now. Yes.
Construction.
All right, so the station has been completed, and now we own this territory. Now that it is in our area of influence, we can now build on it. There are resources here that we can gain. I can select my my construction chip and tell him, all right, build here and then build here, or from the outer menu or the outer world, whatever, the galaxy menu, I can select him, right-click on the system, and say, oh wait, cancel. Can stop that. I can right-click and say build mining stations. He will then build all the mining stations in that area, and now he'll go to town. But now that we've done the exploration, we've done expansion, and we're working on exploitation, now we need to work on... One moment. Okay. Sorry about that. Charlie's being difficult because he's not getting attention. Okay, so anyways, the expand, explore, exploit, and exterminate, right? We have expanded our territory, but we have not expanded our worlds. That is the other part of the expansion. So now that we have this territory under our thumb, we're not really getting anything from it. We're not getting any of these materials, and we haven't colonized the planet. Well, we just queued up the material gathering to build stations, but now we need the planet. So how do we do that? You do it a couple of ways. You could go, you could either do it from the outer area or from the inner area. If you click on here on the icon from the outside map, it will select it. From the inside, you actually have to click on the planet. You can then click on colonize. Once you click on colonize, it will tell you, hey, you have to choose now what kind of colony you want to have. I want to build a human colony ship. I'll select that. It will ask me to name the colony. I'll click OK. And now what it will do for me is it will construct a colony ship and automatically send it to the system for me. Automatically. Or I could have done it a different way. So I had to wait until we had the system to do this, to click on colonize, to queue it up, and then to have it build for me. That took time. It's going to take 300 days just for it to complete this colony ship and then send it over there. Well, that's 300 days I could have saved myself had I built the colony ship beforehand. You can go to your shipyard and build them before you actually take the territory. And then once the territory is yours, you can then tell it to go over there and take it from them.
Situation log.
We're going to ignore that.
Star system charted.
So, he just finished his exploration here, and he automatically went to the next system. That's because I queued it up. He's going to do all of these until he's either done with his task or something stops him. Mostly if he gets stopped and destroyed. Alright, so we have now completed the construction of the starbase, or the mining facilities here, and we need to expand. We need to continue moving outwards. As we're getting more influence, we need to spend it. We also have another tradition, so let's do that first. So, now that we have another tradition to select from, I could either do a whole new tradition and get another adoption effect, or I could finish the one we're working on. And you could do both. You could kind of alternate if you really wanted to. I'm going to continue going down here, and we're going to do the to boldly go, so I get the survey speed increase, which is very nice. So we're going to select our construction ship here. I'm going to select the next system over. Now, we need to cover what these resources are. It's costing influence, and it's costing alloys to expand. It's costing 75 influence and 90 alloys. Well,
Star system charted.
that's quite a bit. That is a lot of influence. That's not a whole lot of alloys. I mean, at the beginning of the game, that is still a good sum. But that's a lot of influence. If you wanted to expand further, you can. My suggestion is that if you're expanding in your game, you expand one system at a time and only one system at a time. I'm not saying that you can't do this system and this system at the same time. What I'm saying is only one hyperlane away. You'll see that there are all these lines that are connecting from one system to another. If I wanted this colony ship, or rather my fleet, to get to here, they would have to go all the way around and follow the hyperlanes to get to that point. They cannot directly go there. Not until way later in the game where you get jump drive technology. That's different. So each hyperlane jump away you try to colonize, or not colonize, obtain for for your territory, it's going to cost that much more. We're going to wait a moment. I want this guy to finish his survey. Yeah, now he has. So you'll see if I select my construction ship and tell it to build in this system. Can you stop doing that? Thank you. It's going to cost 75 influence and 90 alloys. Okay. If I wanted this one, which has a habitable world, you might say, I don't want this system, I want this one. Well, if I try to take this one, you'll see now it costs 150 influence rather than the 75 that it was before. That's because it counts both systems. If I took this system, that'd cost me 150, and then if I went back later to take this one, it would still cost me 75. But instead of costing 150 and then an additional 75, I'm going to take this one first, which is going to cost me 75.
Anomaly found. Colonization in progress.
I'm going to ignore that.
Anomaly found.
Whatever, you could do that, that's fine. I'm going to wait a moment. So it was 75 to take this one, and then 150 to take this one.
Construction complete.
Well, now that we have this system, and we spent 75, now if I go to this system, now it's also 75. So each jump away you try to claim is going to be that many more influence you're going to have to spend per jump. So now I want this system, so I'm going to tell them to build. But first, I'm going to queue up the mining station and then queue up the starbase. So they'll do one at a time. Now, I know I'm going to want to colonize this. So I could either wait to have the system and then do the colonization that I had shown before, or I could go to shipyard and go to colony ship and then construct my colony ship ahead of time. So it's going to take time for him to build this, get over here, and then build this station. And by the time he's done, I should be mostly completed with my colony ship by then. We'll see just how close we are. He'll make his way on over. Made his jump. He'll be building the station here in a moment. All right, now he's building. He's working really quickly. But check how close this is going to be. All right, so he has just completed the station. And we are now 27 days away from finishing our colony ship. So had I waited, that would have been an additional 276, 278 days that we would have had to have waited. All right, now that it is completed, we're going to select our colony ship from our outliner menu over here, or you could click on it here. It doesn't matter which way you do it. Then I'm going to go into the system. I'm going to find the planet, right click on it, and go colonize. It wants me to name the colony. Sirius Prime is fine. Click OK. Now the colony ship has an order to go there and colonize, and they will automatically do that. Now we have a problem. Can you guys... sorry. It's almost like Dora, right? Like, hey, we have a problem. Can you guys spot the problem? No, we do have a problem. The problem is right here. You'll see that we have something in red. It says that we have unemployed population on the planet. All right. So we go to our planet. We see here that under our unemployed, we have a worker. That's what this symbol is. The red one is a worker status. The blue one, which you'll see is like different stratums. They have the bottom row, middle row, upper row, and they're also color coordinated. So we have the red one for workers, the blue ones for specialists, and gold for rulers. We have a worker job that needs to be done. Somebody's not working. They're unemployed. Being unemployed means that they just have upkeep and they're not producing any good. So we need to give them a job. What job do we want? Well, there are two types of jobs. Remember, there is the specialist job and then there's a worker job. And some people can only work one or another. A specialist can work a worker job once they get downgraded, but workers cannot work a specialist job because they just don't go up in stratums. It just doesn't work. That's not how that part works. So, how do you distinct from the two? Any district job... Sorry, that's not correct. Generator, mining, agriculture, and clerks are considered worker jobs. So you'll see that we have clerk jobs, we have technician jobs, miner jobs, and farmer jobs. Technicians are the ones that produce energy. These are worker jobs, so I need to give them more of one of these jobs. If I were to say build an industry district that gives one artisan and one metallurgist job, great, good. But this guy won't work that job. He's not a specialist. So I'll be having free jobs open and nobody will work it. That just gives me more upkeep. So I need to give them a different job. Let's give them, we have plenty of energy. We have quite a bit of minerals. We have plenty of food. So then what do I want? Well, more energy wouldn't hurt. So let's do that. Let's do a generator district. We'll select a generator district and we'll click on build, and that will queue up a generator district. Now we only have a couple more slots left on the planet to build. We'll worry about how to undo that later. In fact, actually, we could worry about that right now. Since we only have one district left on most of these areas, I'd like to get more room on my planet. So we need to clear some blockers. When you go to features of the planet, right here, and you'll see that there are some blockers on the planet that are causing some problems. We have a giant garbage patch, we have the sprawling slums, we have industrial wastelands. I'm going to spend energy and clear all of these. That's going to give me larger planets or more district size. It'll do that over time, and we'll worry about that later. But I will queue that up. That was from going to the planet and clicking on features. So we have covered the exploration, we have covered the exploitation of resources, we have covered the expansion. Sorry, pop-ups keep coming up while I'm trying to speak. I keep reading them while trying to speak as well. What we haven't covered is the annihilation of your enemies. Let's not do that one. Let's do this one. Accept tradition. Alright, you need to continue. I'll have you go down here and prepare. Another civilization has been encountered. Ah, okay, so we have just found, clicking on the camera up here, we have just found a primitive world. They are in the machine age right now. This would be very useful to us. Very useful. So what do we want to do? Micro, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you. How you doing today? So, remember, expand, explore, exploit, and exterminate. Well, exterminate not so much, more about expropriation. So, we're going to go to our planet, Earth. We're going to recruit, and, well, okay, so we went to Earth, and we went to the armies tab. We went to recruit, and now we're going to recruit a bunch of armies. We're going to wait. Because we have found a primitive world.
Anomaly found.
They are in the machine age right now, which means that they will be an eventual threat. Well, we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So we need to take them before they take us. So we'll produce some troops.
Situation log updated.
I'm out of water. That's not good.
System charted. Technology secured.
Okay, so our first bit of technologies have been completed. So we're going to click on technology here. and click on new research. It's going to tell us, hey, we got the physics research you wanted. What do you want us to do next? Well, we'll go to new research and we're going to choose something else. Let's do survey speed. And let's do... More food is nice, but not necessary. We have enough food. I'm going to do the Unity. Getting more monthly Unity is nice. Oh, we have a red. Our Empire Sprawl is becoming too high. We need to increase our Empire Sprawl. Well, we are getting a penalty. A very small penalty. So we don't have to be super concerned about it at this moment, but it is something to be worried about. Alright, we have our first contact with an unknown entity. Alright, so this is a new mechanic that they have added into the game, as a paradox, that you guys will need to know in order to help yourself with communicating with other empires. On the map here, and up here under your notifications, you'll see that we have a new icon, the first contact. You could click on it up here, or click on it from the map, down here. It will say that there is a beta alien that we've found. It says beta because there was already an alpha alien, apparently. Or no, we are the alpha alien. That's right, of course, we're the alpha. In order for us to investigate them, we need to assign an envoy. We have 2 envoys right now. None of them are working. So, we select envoy, we select this box here, and we choose an envoy. Just choose any of them. Right now, it doesn't matter. There's no specialties, there's no better for like male or female or different species. As far as we're aware, that doesn't matter. So, they're gonna start working on this and we can just leave them to it. Let's get this outpost. So we have our military fleets, our armies being produced right now. We probably don't need that many, but we will build some. I want to make sure that I have more than twice their strength. And their strength is 66. So we will need probably, yeah, the 4 more should be good. We're going to be taking over a primitive world real quick. And we're about to finish colonizing a planet. First contact event pending. Alright, excellent. Continue your first contact. What entity is this that we found? Don't even know what entity that is.
Sphere of influence expanded.
Alright, so our first colony has been completed, and now we went from having just Earth to having Earth and Alpha Centauri, which has its own building slots and different different districts. We can build whatever it is we want on here, as long as we don't put ourselves in debt. So, you'll see here that this planet has a planetary bonus. It has hazardous weather, which means that it will be producing energy credits 20% more from jobs. So we will probably want this to be an energy planet, which would be really good. So I think the first building I would build would be a generator district. So let's queue that up. We're only going to do 1. We don't actually, you know what? We don't even need it right now. Because right now we only have 1 colonist. And we're growing our population very slowly. Which should be growing any second there. There we go. Yeah. It's going to be a while. It's going to be about 2 years until this population grows. Okay. And our military fleet will be... Not military. Our assault armies will be completing here soon. Why don't you research the project and then continue? Oh, we should cover... Okay, so my Empire Sprawl is rising. I want to solve this. So what do? Well, I need to get a job that will give me more Empire Sprawl. More admin capacity. That's what it's called. I will select one of my open building slots and find a building here that gives me more admin capacity. We have strongholds, silos, research labs, pricing houses, all these different types of buildings to help us out. The one we're looking for is the administration office. This will have an upkeep of 4 consumer goods, which we only have 4. That's not good. So we might end up having to build more industrial districts to get ourselves more consumer goods to compensate. But we do need more Empire Sprawl, so I'm going to build an administration capacity. I mean, an administrative office. It's going to take a year to happen. Keep in mind, we don't have any open jobs. We don't have any open jobs, and we have no unemployed workers. So I'm building a building that's going to give me more bureaucratic jobs, which means 2 people need to work those. Where will they come from? Well, they're probably going to have to come from one of these other jobs. They might come from the enforcer job. I could probably spare one. They might have to come from the metallurgist job. We might have one of the workers able to move up to the upper stratum, but likely that won't happen. You can do this and then move here. First contact protocols.
Construction complete.
All right, our fleet is completed. Let's move you over here. So we've selected our ground troops, and we are sending them to this planet here. We're gonna have them just enter the orbit for the moment. We see that we are missing a leader. We're gonna click on this just as we had before. We're gonna go to generals and go to recruit and then find one to hire. Let's do disengagement chance and collateral damage. This seems like a good one.
Special project complete.
There we go. Also, we don't have to do the hiring from that menu. We could just go to the leaders from here on the bottom left hand of your menu and then just recruit any of these we wished. Well, let's recruit you for the sublight speed and the evasion. Let's get this admiral. Seems like a good idea. Double click on our troops. We'll watch them arrive. This is going to be interesting. We're going to be taking over a primitive population that will likely resist us a lot. We'll see what they do. Our building is almost completed. 70-ish days. So we could leave this primitive world alone. However, since they are in the machine age, if they get high enough with their technology, they will no longer be a primitive world. They will join the galactic community as a regular empire. I'd rather them be a part of my empire than be on their own, because I want their stuff. So, hold on one moment. We have an empty job. And there we go. The admin office has been completed. Populations have been moved around. People are now working the specialist job. Now, the reason why they are allowed to move up versus down is because that they all have the same rights. If you have a regular race versus a slave race, they are in different stratums. They're only allowed to work particular jobs. You could change that by doing species rights. I wouldn't worry about that right now. That's more advanced mechanics of the game. As long as you fill up and you have available jobs and you don't have unemployed, you'll be good. Keep your resources in the positive. Once the month ticks over, you're going to see our consumer goods drop a little bit, which is unfortunate, but necessary. But now we're going to... Okay, now we actually have something in the red. We're making negative 0.4 monthly consumer goods. That's not good. That's bad. But that's not the end of the world. We can always buy some. We have more than enough energy credits. We could just buy more consumer goods if we need to. So we're going to ignore that problem for now. We could go ahead and build another industry district. You know what? Sure, why not? We'll queue it up so that it's done and it's taken care of. Now let's select our military fleet and land the armies. My scientist has just died. And it was dissected by whatever empire lives up here. That is super rude. That is incredibly rude. They just murdered my man. Alright, well, let's invade this primitive world here.
Planetary invasion commenced.
Well, I know who we're going to war with.
Ground invasion Federation force has seized a
Yes, subjugating the primitives. To show them our weapon, to them our weapons must appear like magic. Yes, we have now taken the planet, and the planet is ours. We should allow them to join us. Species. Wasari, set rights. So this is something I'm going to do. Now we have slaves, technically. Now we have slaves in the game. I don't want to, because that's going to cost us problems. I'd rather them be a part of our empire, so we can then take other planets. So I'm going to go to set rights under species. I'm going to select them, go to set rights. I'm going to go to citizenship, and we're going to give them full citizenship. Yes. And with them being full citizens, and also having a lot of unemployment, which is unfortunate, we do need to change that. Let's move you to our Alpha Centauri world. Oh, okay, that's another thing. All right, so now we have way too many people here on this planet that are not working. We need to move them. They have to move. So I'm going to resettle them. I'm going to select this, resettle, and I'm going to move them from one planet to another. Oh, that's right. They have stellar culture shock, so we can't do that. Well, if I didn't, then we'd be able to move them by clicking on these buttons to move people off or on the planet. But as of right now, we can't do that. Unfortunate. Let's give them jobs, so they're no longer upset. Let's see here. Let's give them... Well, if they have full rights, we could give them these other jobs too. Let's build an alloy foundry. Let's build a civilian industry. And we'll build more mining districts. And we'll hope for the best and hope that they don't end up revolting. Let's actually put down our armies on the planet, just in case. That way, if they do ever try to revolt, we'll already have an army here, garrisoned to stop any uprising. So hopefully this planet will resolve itself soon. We are out of minerals, so we're going to buy some. I'm going to select the minerals. We're going to buy some minerals. Since we have plenty of energy credits, we're going to tell you to build these mining stations. All right, so we have expanded, we have explored, we have exploited, and we have expropriated our neighbors, our primitive neighbors. We still have low stability on the planet, which is not good. A lot of that has to do with the stellar culture shock, which is really bad. It's going to last that way for 10 years. Welcome back, Rav. Ooh, look at this world. It has so many agricultural districts. We can make this a food world.
Star system charted.
Ah, man, you're making me hydrate. I'm out of water. All right, give me a second. All right, there you go. Let's have you continue exploring this way. There you go. All right, what I'm doing here is something that's more advanced. I'm having a colony designation chosen. Don't worry about this. This is useful if you wanted to make these changes, but again, it should be automated. I wouldn't worry about that right now. As a tutorial, as far as tutorials go, don't worry about that. In fact, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it back to automated and let it decide for us, because I want it to be the exact same as yours. All right, we've expanded quite a bit. We've got some more resources. We are losing our consumer goods, but we're also building buildings to combat that. There's an enemy here. You! Come over here and stop this man. Oh, never mind. Communications established. Oh. You're a machine intelligence. Our first contact is a machine intelligence. Let's establish an embassy here for a moment. Get a little bit better understanding of you. Because I want your stuff because you killed my scientist. So we will destroy you when given the chance. We have way more citizens than they do right now. I still can't move the people off the planet, unfortunately. You know what you guys need? Hollow theaters. So my amenities is currently in the negatives. I need more amenities on the planet. I must make my people happier. So that's what we're going to do. I'm also going to use you to get more admin offices too. Oh my goodness. What is this? Due to a major clerical error on parts of Alpha Centauri, the planet has fallen behind in infrastructure maintenance and accommodation services. There are people living in rather bleak conditions and will not tolerate it for long. Remedying these problems will cost us time and effort. Okay, or I gain massive penalties for 20 years! How about, we don't do that? Thanks. Good lord. What?
Construction complete.
What about fleet? What is your question? Oh yeah, we definitely need to solve our fleet problem. Okay, so our fleet is baby right now. We have a little tiny baby fleet. We have 114 fleet power. So we need to increase that. How do we do that? Well, you could do that a couple of ways. One, you could go straight to your shipyard and just build a bunch of corvettes. Just build them all. Or, also clicking on them down here, this is left and left click. So left click to build, left click to cancel. We're going to go to our fleet manager. We're going to click on fleet manager here. We're going to find the fleet that we have. I'm going to increase the amount of ships we're going to have in the fleet. I want to say, I want 20 ships. I want 20 ships in my fleet. The game says, okay, if you want to build all 20 ships, you're going to need 1,500 alloys. Right now, we only have enough to afford 720. So, okay, reinforce what you can, either by clicking here for the reinforce, click here to reinforce all, or clicking on the fleet, and then clicking on the reinforce down here. Now, you can do it either way. It's just if you do it this way, you can have your fleet be in any location, and those ships will automatically go to the location that they need to be to group up with that fleet. That's why we're doing it in this direction. Yeah, you guys are going to be making almost no resources here. It's very unfortunate. Once we get the Hollow Theater up and running, that should make them much, much happier. Now, is it enough to stop them from revolting? I hope so. But we'll find out. Remember, this is a primitive world that just found out that not only are there aliens out there, but they have way more advanced technology and they just declared war and took over their planet. So they're not very happy. Even though we just completely give them citizenship. And our station is building out the ships. So we can also buy some more. Let's buy more alloys. We have the money for it. Let's buy more alloys. And then we can queue up even more ships to be built. Get a nice little fleet here. Hopefully our fleet will be strong enough to take out these guys, which it might be. We'll find out. So we could click on declare war, and under the declaration of war, it will ask you for your reason. You can either humiliate them, conquer, make tributary, vassalize. You can only go to war if you have a casus belli to do so. Casus belli meaning a reason for war. Our reason for war is I want their stuff. You can't just say, hey, I want all your stuff and then go to war. You have to have a claim for it. The game has a balancing factor for that. You know, you could just do a total war empire, which allows you to just take everything for no cost. But we're not a total war empire. So total war is a type of war that lets you just take anything and everything without having a real good reason. We aren't one of those kinds of empires, so we have to have a reason. So we're going to make a claim. We're going to go to our claims section here. And we're going to claim this territory right here. This one is mine. But I really don't want this one. No, I want their world. I want their homeworld. By the way, what kind of homeworld do you have? Okay. Very well.
Star system charted.
How do you go to war with a primitive? How do you take one over? It's easy. You just need armies. As long as your army could beat their army, you just select your army and tell it to land on the planet and you're golden. It's just that easy. Oh no, we found the rubricator. All right, we're gonna leave that alone for a while. Finish that tradition part. Fleet is already at full strength. Okay, well, in that case, let's build a station here. So, we have done most of the basics of the mechanics of the game. What we have not done yet is build ourselves a station. We have 1 out of 3 star bases. Now, you'll see that we have these other star bases. Yes, these are considered star bases. Really, they're more of outposts. We want to then upgrade it. So this one here, this starbase here, which is on the border of my enemy, I'm going to select this outpost, go to starbase down here, and click on upgrade. Once I get the alloys to do so. I don't have it yet. I can buy some more. And now I'm going to tell it to upgrade. And now it will upgrade. Once it's upgraded, I could put all sorts of goodies on there. I could put anchorage points, which allows me to have more fleet size or more naval capacity. I could put trading posts on there, so then I could collect resources from my other planets and their trade value. I could put all sorts of goodies on there, but I'm going to be putting more naval capacity on there currently. Nope, with a primitive planet, you just simply have to put your armies on their planets. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Now that I have enough influence, I will claim your homeworld. You won't be too happy about that, I'm sure. There's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do about it. I'm not ready for war yet, since my ships are still building. We should probably build one of these. Clerk jobs. Let's do another industry district. We could get a few less clerks. Yeah, we could afford to lose 2 clerks. Yeah. Oh, that's a long time. All right, let's add those clerks back.
Technology secured.
Corvette build speed, good. Let's do planetary build speed. Now we could get some weapon upgrades, but we're not going to be too concerned about that. All right, our fleet is nearly maxed out right now. They closed their borders to me. Well, I'm gonna close my borders to you too. So I'm gonna click on them, click on the other empire, scroll down through our diplomatic options and click on close borders, and then confirm. You don't want borders with me? I don't want borders with you either. All right, my ships are completed. I'm gonna put them into position.
Construction complete.
Move our fleet. Oh, look, it's golden. That's cool. That is very cool. I like that a lot.
Star system charted.
We're about to have another consumer good problem. We're at -2. Let's buy some. Let's buy like 250.
Technology secured.
1,000 hours and I did not know that. That's funny. Alright, let's give you more. Let's do the energy grid. I like the energy grid.
Technology secured.
That's a good one. Let's do hydroponic factory. Okay. You need to have anchorage points. Communications established with the, okay, artisan troop. That's fine. Queue up the next fleet. Alright, I'm going to tell this fleet to follow the previous one. We're going to give them a nice new commander. The same bonuses as the last one. We're going to go to our fleet, and under our fleet manager, we're going to also add more ships. I'm only going to add 8. Reason why is because we're only going to be able to afford that many with our starbase upgrades for more anchorages. Each anchorage you build gives you 4 more naval capacity. So since we're only going to be able to hold 28 ships, I'm only going to queue up 8 more to be built. At least currently that's my plan. You always look for it in the contacts? I see. I mean, you could do it that way, I think. I've just never done it that way. There we go. All right, that should help. That'll help out a lot. Okay, let's prepare for war. Oh, they're taking another planet. You know what? I also want that one. We're gonna wait a moment. I'm gonna claim their other planet too. Their other planet shall be my planet. When I get the influence for it. The planets would be mine. You know what I need? I also need more armies. I just realized we probably don't have enough armies. Let's sell some of our food. We don't need all that food. So we'll sell our food. We'll use those resources to build up our army. Interesting. Okay. Well, you don't have to go to war with other species that way. You could just select the species, then go to war this way.
Complete. Star system charted.
But you're right. Yeah, you just have to tell them to land on the planet, and then you're golden. Okay, I want you guys to follow this fleet. We almost have all of our ships. We have about 1,000 fleet power now. I don't know if that's going to be enough to stop them. But we must stop them. We'll make our claim. on both our worlds. And to begin our little war. Oh, we have more ships than I thought. Wait a minute, hold on. How do we have more ships? How are we at 29 when we have 28 ships? Wait a minute, hold on. Something's not right here. I feel like I'm getting cheated here. Alright, fine, very well. That just doesn't seem right to me. Right, war it is. Declare war for my claims.
Declared war to safeguard our
Alright, so I had select the enemy. I click on declare war, and then I had chosen what it was I wanted to declare war for. And let's enter their territory with our fleet. So I've selected my fleet, I have right-clicked on their territory, and now we will move out. The moment we enter the space, I need to take a nice little look here to see what it is we're up against. So right now, I don't see any of the enemy, but they are likely going to be heading right for us here in a moment. I'm going to wait a second. I want to see if they arrive. You know what? No, I think we could take the station before they arrive. I believe in us. Okay. Well, I just gained enough of my unity that I chose my last tradition from my tradition tree. And now that I have completed the discovery tradition tree, now I have access to an ascension perk. I will currently select the ascension perk, technological ascendancy, because I really like doing technology in my builds. Granted, currently, it's not very helpful because I'm not doing a whole lot of technology. I'm doing very little technology right now, which is not normal for me.
attacking enemy assets.
Get 'em, boys! Before the other ships arrive. Oh, there's the 9th ship. I didn't know I had 9. I thought I only had 8. That's weird. Okay, now that that battle is over, we have our battle report here telling us that we took a considerable amount of damage. We didn't lose everything, but it looks like several of our ships are injured. So I am going to... Oh, I don't know what you're doing here, but this seems really weird that they're all split. I'm going to have you guys retreat back to our shipyard, not our shipyard, our station back here to repair. By the way, your ships can only repair either if they have a repair ship in their area, not like a construction ship, but there are certain like tiers of ships that have repair vessels, like a repair bonus on them. If your admiral has a repair bonus, or if you dock at a tier 2 or higher station, which is exactly what we're doing. They're not even moving. Send a new envoy out. Well, alright, then I guess we're just gonna repair it while you're not doing anything. We will invade them. We'll definitely invade them here shortly. You know what? I feel a little adventurous. Let's get more ships. Let's go over our naval capacity. We can afford that, right? Even if it's just a little bit. It's gonna give us a slight penalty. We should be fine. Let's go take this station. Actually, no. Let's go take this system. Let's go, boys. I want to wait for my reinforcements before getting into any major battle right now. All these resources will become mine. Guys, Doing anything with your fleet? You're not doing anything with your fleet right now. Is that a destroyer you have? I don't see it. Wait, where is it? This guy. Oh, that's a Corvette. You just have two of them in one group. Okay. You guys need jobs. How about more energy for you? And you do more food. Sorry, I'm starting to do stuff a little quick on here when I'm not supposed to. It's supposed to be a slow tutorial and I'm doing them rather briefly. Alright, now we're going to head back to our base. I'm going to repair because we've taken a lot of damage. If you select your fleet, you'll actually see that I am at 97% health, 70% armor, and the other one is 90% and, sorry, 97 and then 81%. So let's go back, heal up, and then we should have more than enough ships to take out their home base. I believe we will. Because not only do we have to fight their home base, but we have to fight their station too. And that's a very dangerous part. Let's get more energy. Yeah, they are building up their fleets. Inductor fleet. Oh, their other fleet was just missing! So they did have a fleet. I was wondering what had happened. This is their fleet. It's just been sitting in another system this whole time. Okay. And now that we've left this system, alright, we're gonna repair up real quick. They're gonna try to take back this system, and we need to stop them before they have a chance. We need to heal up real quick before they move in. We've almost repaired. Okay, we've repaired. Alright, let's go. You follow this fleet, you go in here. Let's go, let's go.
Station under attack.
Now they're gonna fight the station that we stole from them, and we need to defend it. So we're gonna move our fleet in to stop them. Hopefully we don't take too much hull damage. So I want to take this opportunity to immediately go in and destroy them. They lost only 2 of their corvettes. We lost a lot of armor. We're going to take the chance. We're going to chance it. Strategic resource discovered. That's great. And let's invade. Here we go. Let's invade their homeworld. See what kind of damage we can do.
Star system charted.
This is from my scientist you destroyed. You aggressive alien scum. They're running. No, 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 no. I don't think you get to run. No, let's see if we could go around and catch them before they escape. I think we can. If we can catch them before they have a chance to regroup with their other fleet. Are we gonna get them? No, some of them escape.
Attacking enemy vessels.
All right, we did catch some of them, which is great. Very helpful. All right, how many did we manage to destroy there? None. Or they all escaped. All right, well, let's take out their station. We're doing pretty good. It's looking like it's in our favor right now. I see no other enemy fleets on the way. That doesn't mean they aren't on their way. That just means I can't see them. Your station is ours. So now that these other ships are going to be destroyed, we can now stop at their station and use their tier 2 station to repair our stuff. So now this place is ours and they will never be able to take it back from us. Because they don't have the amount of ships in order. In fact, actually, I don't think they even have a second. Oh, they built a second station. Well, that's unfortunate for us, but I think we should be fine. Alright, let's get our ground forces here. Take their homeworld. Without their homeworld, they're going to have no income. Well, they don't have the income in order to support their stuff.
Planetary invasion.
It's going to be ours. Now we are invading their world with 10 times the amount of force that they have.
Ground invasion force has seized a planet.
Good. Good. Okay. Alright, follow the fleet. Fleet repair. You guys aren't repairing. Why aren't you guys repairing? You rivaled me only just now? Okay, now you guys are repairing. I wonder if I can just skirt along the border of their territory and try to force them to do something. Okay, you've been repaired. You're repaired. We're only building them one at a time. We should be fine. Oh, their fleet is moving. Wait, where are you moving? Okay. If I can take this station while they're gone, they won't have anywhere to return to. Let's see what they do. Do they leave? They are leaving. Okay, they've left. Go! Take it! Quickly! Before they have a chance to stop me. What is their fleet doing here? Oh no, they're heading back. Alright, can we take the station before they have a chance to stop us? Probably not. We might have to retreat.
Technology secured.
This is not good. They're gonna stop us. Are they? Are they gonna stop us? I don't know if they're gonna stop us. It's like they're thinking about it, but they're not actually gonna. No, they stopped. They didn't do it. They thought better. You lost some ships, you need those replaced. Okay. Now we could try taking them out. Chase them down. I mean, at this point, we might have to. What am I in combat with? Oh, a side ship. Okay. So that is the expand, explore, exploit. Actually, you know what? I don't even need to do that. We could just take the planet right now and just win. We don't have to chase them down. Stand back here. We don't have to go anywhere. We stay right here without a problem. Other than, of course, our ships are currently going to be going through enemy space, but that's not a problem. We'll just disallow that. We will land on the planet. We will take the system. And it will be ours.
Invasion commenced. Ground invasion force has seized a planet.
And we will then, on the bottom right-hand corner, let me actually hand my camera. You have your war down here. The war has a bunch of different information. I wouldn't be too concerned with this. Other than the exhaustion, conquer, status quo, and surrender. Surrender is if you want to give up. Status quo is if you want things to settle as they are. And achieve war goals is if you want them to surrender. Right now, I have achieved all of my goals, so I want to make them surrender. Send offer. Wait a moment.
Foreign power is hailing us.
Well, let's see what happens. The best possible outcome. I have won my war. Wait, what? They had another planet? I didn't know they had another planet. Well, okay. That was unexpected, but all right. Yeah, I can't make you guys part of my population, so we're gonna have to send some people over here. That's fine. That's fine. We're fine. Okay. Well then, now you guys have seen the exploration, the expansion of our territory, the exploitation of resources, and the extermination of our enemies. Now, they had not been completely exterminated. That is something I need to do. But you've now seen the basics of the game. Now, essentially, you just need to keep this up until the end game date. Now, we do have an Empire Sprawl problem, so I would build more of my bureaucratic centers. We are having too many of our star bases since we just took their territories, so I would select one of these. Let me make sure I select the right one. I select one of them, and I click on downgrade. And now I'll be back down to 3. I'm way above my naval capacity, so I could destroy some of my ships, but I think instead, I'd much rather just hold on to them and keep them safe and send them home. You need to be unblocked. But that's really it. That's the basics. The planet was outside of where you had explored. That is true. It was. But if you have enough information on the enemy, you can know how many colonies they have. And it would have said 3, and I would have realized, oh, I only have 2 claimed, and it says he has 3. Then there's still another one for me to take. Now, he is incredibly weak right now, because he has it's only a colony. I'm pretty sure that this, Techus, was his homeworld, so he is missing a lot right now. But we won't worry about that, because that's it. That is the basics of the game. So that was my tutorial playthrough for today. For the basics of the game. There are a lot of other parts of the game that can be explained. But if you're looking to get into the game and you just want to know the bare minimums of what it is you need to know, it's the 4 X's, right? The exploration, the expansion of your territory, the exploitations of those resources, and the extermination of your enemies. If you can learn those and do those well, then you should be fine in the game. The rest is just excess and flavor. right? More complication and more depth to the game. Some people don't like complication, or something that makes it more choices. Some people don't like where they're like, there's just so much to do. There's so many menus. Well, some people like that. Some people like the complex. That's what it is. Complexity, not complication. Complexity. Not everybody likes the complexity of these kinds of games. It is a grand strategy game. It is not meant to be learned and played within a couple of hours. You got to spend a long time to play a match. You got a long time to learn the game. But the basics of the game are pretty easy. And I hope that had helped you just a little bit with understanding how that's done. So, thank you everybody for hanging out today. I hope you guys enjoyed. That is the end of this segment, and I believe the end of today's stream, because we are now at our 5 o'clock mark for me. So, if you have any questions, be happy to answer. But you'll have to send those into the Discord, which I will actually link right now. Or the exploitation of pops, depending on the empire. True. True. Very true. Oh, wow, I typed that in incorrectly. All right, my bad. All right, thank you again, everybody. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's adventures. Tomorrow, we will probably be playing some Bannerlord, most likely. I'm not positive. I still have more RimWorld to be playing to practice before we do that Armageddon thing. We also have like spoopy games to play this month. I'm not sure what games we're going to be playing. I have a couple in mind, but I need to get them prepared, especially because I want to try to get some of them with Twitch integration. That way you guys get to spook me a lot easier. Let's get a raid going, actually. Let's find somebody to raid today. So if you guys want to hang around for that before leaving, that'd be awesome, because I know that they would appreciate it. Let's see here. Who is streaming today that we can raid? Puck, thank you so much. By the way, yes, if you guys would like to follow, that would be awesome. It really would. You don't have to follow if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to me if you did. So thank you. I appreciate that, Puck. All right. I don't know. Let's see if anybody's playing Stellaris for the first time. Let's do that. Let's do first time player. I need to turn that volume down. Processing. Atabay, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. I hope I said that at all close to what it's pronounced. I don't see anybody with the title saying that they're doing a new playthrough. Okay. Well, then let's go raid Strongarm Zed. Yeah, let's go raid him today. Yeah, let's go raid Strongarm Zed. Thank you again, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right? Goodbye.
Processing. Processing.